Welcome back to the Caribou Data Science channel. This is the long-awaited analyzing the cyclistic bike sharing data set. That's easy for you to say. This is part two of the long drawn out analyzing the cyclistic bike share data set with Tabular part two. We're going to begin with performing what's called a union on tables. A union basically simply means that you're appending one table onto the end of it. You're in our case, we're appending one CSV file onto the end of another CSV file. And as you can see up here, currently the first file I imported was T01. If we come over here and take a look at Edit Union, you can see I've already imported everything up through table 5. Now you're supposed to be able to come over here like this and drag that over there, but I'm getting an error message. So I did post the error message to the Tabular group on Facebook. We'll see what happens that way, because I got the idea of dragging these in there from a video. I'm not quite sure what the real issue is, but so we're going to continue to do this the old-fashioned way. So you click that, and then you watch for. See how it's a slightly different color underneath there? It says union. That's what you want. You don't want to tack it onto the right side of it. You want to append it onto the end of this directory there. Then it'll sit there, execute the query. Now, in interest of full disclosure, my favorite tool at this point is still Power BI. Okay, but that's a story for a different time. So it's just, and the amount of time it takes to load it, as I said, it depends on the object itself. So now let's drag 9 up there. See, it says union. So it's not there's unions and there's joins. Unions append data onto the end of a data table. Joins join two different tables, like left join, right join, as in SQL database type of joins. So what is that? Was that 7? Okay, let's try 8. And what we're working with the 12 monthly files from the Google Data Analytics capstone project, which again is the cyclistic bike sharing data set, which looks mysteriously like the actual city bike data set. But of course, this data is from a fictitious company. Well, either that, or of course, maybe the business name is fictitious, but the data is actually real data. Remains to be seen. Altogether, this data is about what is it? I can't remember. 4.3, is it 4.3 million rows? 3.4 million rows? I think I gotta see what it is here. 3.4 million rows. Okay. Now we know from other exercises that there is some problem with some of the data. Okay, we know that 8. We know that's some of the rows have the start and ending station name missing. We know that some of the duration times are either 0 or less than 0. We also know that some of the duration times is more than 24 hours. Uh, Not quite sure how that happens, but so we have to try to figure out. Don't stop, cancel. Okay, so what was that 9? I keep losing track of what I'm trying to do here. 9 down, 3 to go. So that's 10. And you can see we can see the row count, right? We currently have, what do we currently have? So we currently have 3.2 million rows. So that was 10. Here's 11. Let's just check our table down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 3.2 rows. So let's go 12. I think we said 3.4 billion, right? And that's exactly what we're looking for. Now let's go over here. So at this point, we got all our data is imported. Let's go over here. Can we come over here and say start station name? So does this mean, so the question is, how do we get rid of the null values? Let's close this. Okay. We actually still have some problems. You know, we actually don't have here. Create calculated field. Group by folder. Group by data source table. Sort by name. Sort by data source order. Custom field. Let's see. Trip duration. So we're going to say equals. Hmm. Now what we want to do here is we want to calculate somehow trip duration. Eh, not quite sure how to do that. Is there a duration function arrow? So we can say And here's the main thing down here. These counts are the most important thing because we use these counts to count and plot the categorical variables like the number of rides per day or the number of rides, you know, by bike type or by member type. Okay, the number of rides per day for various stations and stuff like that. So it's a very good thing. Uh, Trip duration. What we need to do is okay. So now let's start something pretty simple. We're going to count the number of rides by date, and we're going to start by day. So now we bring this up here. Let's see how this looks. And now we got the number of rides per day. Okay. Okay. And go over here, title. Okay. So, okay. Now, see, but we could take this, okay. Let's come back over to data for a second. Let's give this a different name. There. Now I'll come back over there. There we go. Okay. So now let's say so this is by day. Nothing special here, right? There we go. Number of rides per day. But let's say instead of rides per day, we want rides per per week or month or year or whatever. Now we only got 1 year's data, so it doesn't make any sense. But let's come over here like this. Okay, let's duplicate this. Okay, let's come up here and let's change our time measure here. Let's say now we got it by a week. And since we got it by week, let's change it to let's change it like this. And again, we can come over here and we can do this. Okay. Now, question: can we? And now we got the number of rides per week. Okay. Now, what I really like to do is find out some way to format, drill down. Let's see something here. Grand total. Is there a way to? Let's say there. Okay. And now let's say rides per week. Let's copy this, duplicate, come up here. Let's make this month now. All right. So now we got rides per month. And so forth. And you can do rides by quarter, rides by, what, why not? Let's do a ride by quarter. And now, of course, we're not really doing anything fancy here. Okay, we're not really doing anything fancy here. Now, just for the sake of the fun, let's say we not only want rides by month, but we also want, uh, well, no, by ride type. So now we got the totals by ride type, right? Docked bike, electric bike, classic bike. Of course, maybe we don't want this. Maybe we want, by member status. Now, I personally don't like this, but let's see if we can let's see if we can do a side by side instead. Okay. So now we got rides by month, split out by member and non-member. Okay. Let's just come back up. What about this? There we go. That's what we're really looking for. Probably not. Just come back up here. Let's go with the stack bar plot. Okay. Again, the, all we're working with here is the counts by different methods. Okay. Okay. By month. Let's come back over here. What can we do over here? By week. So what can we come over here and do? By member type. Let's come back over here. So this way, now the trouble with this is that this also includes a bunch of trip durations that are greater than zero. So again, number of rides per week. The three main things, really the two measures that we have is trip duration, okay, and number of rides. So let's just say, oh, member casual, rideable type. I wonder if we can do a area map here. Oh, that's nice, done it. There we go. So now we got a nice area map, a number of rides by week. Okay. So two variables counts in this. Okay. Now I'm sure there's lots and lots of stuff you can do. Okay. Lots and lots of stuff you can do. Can we put count label? There we go. So this gives us some data of the actual count of rides. Now again, this data isn't perfect because we know there's a bunch of trip durations in there where, okay, where you got where you got a bunch of zero, where the trip duration is less than or equal to zero. Okay. Tell you what, I'm going to take a brief 15-minute break here. Let's check and see if anybody's dropped in on us over here. Okay. And now to demonstrate one more thing. Just for the fun of it, let's just do months. Let's do week. Weeks is a pretty good number here. Okay. Okay. So now we got count of weeks, but instead of count of weeks, instead of count, remove trip duration. Okay. Now this is sort of interesting, isn't it? Same plot, trip duration. Now what caused this? See, we've got all these rides here. There. So now we got rid of all the negative values. Now this here is a sum. So this would be the total ride minutes per day. Let's come back over here. Let's change this back maybe over to here. Over to here. Oh, that's interesting. We got count up here and trip duration down here. Let's get rid of counts. So this is trip durations by bike type. Now this may not be what we actually want to. If I can type, okay, and dates. Now we could take bike type and bring it up to here, say, is what this looks like. No, it doesn't look right, does it? Let's bring it back down. Now let's bring it back over here. Okay. No, I pulled the wrong one, didn't I? Okay. What about labels? So that looks pretty nice, doesn't it? Hmm. That actually looks really nice. You have to be perfectly honest. I'm actually really happy with this. I'm really happy with this. Uh, Now we can come up here, say, and measure. Now the average doesn't look very good at all, does it? Okay. So now we got, what is this? All right. So let's go ahead and save this to Tabula Public. So let's come back over here. And so what we've done is we've basically looked at probably the main ways we can look at this data, not including modeling and prediction. We looked at, day, week, and month by the number of rides. Well, we can also do what is the top 10 starting stations and what is the bottom 10 and the top 10 ending stations. Okay. Again, we can go on and on and on and on here. I mean, change the week started to starting station. Now you got minutes duration. Now you got the total minutes duration for that station. So on a date field, now you can plot the number of stations by number of minutes by station and day. Add a filter so someone can pick the station they want to look at. But it's just a matter of dragging and dropping at this point. Okay, like I say, take take change rows to station ID or something like that. Okay, but all we basically did here was is that we changed the all we did is we changed the a couple of the rows and the column variables, and that's all there is to it. Now we could, of course, see rides by week is much better. Okay, trip duration by week and rides by month. Okay, in all honesty, rides per day really isn't that good. So let's create a dashboard. So let's just come back over here and let's just update this. And we're going to call this session to a close this evening. I'll be back in 15 minutes to begin my live stream on Twitch. Hope to see you there.